What's up, YouTube? I'm back with another video. I got some crazy hairdo right now. I just wanted to touch on something a little bit different before something different. I've never done this before. I want to talk about some current news going around. And one of the things I want to talk about is Vladimir Zelensky. That's why he's up on the screen right there. And then I wanted to kind of relate it back to some current things I believe that's going on that I feel like is kind of relatable. How their situation in Ukraine and what's happening there relates to things that are happening in the United States. And then I'd like to touch a little bit on the NCAA playoffs coming up and give you my input there. Hope you all enjoy. Let's dive right into it. So, some recent updates with Vladimir Zelensky. He has become the Time Person of the Year. I'll show you this right here. I don't really know how he became this or why they recognized him, or why they're glorifying him. I'm not a fan of the Ukraine president, Vladimir Zelensky, and this is why. Zelensky, according to Deseret News and Fox News, they brought this issue up, is that recently Vladimir Zelensky has been punishing Christians in his country. He's saying that they're tied to Russia, mostly the Moscow connected religious groups. These people say that they're not connected to Moscow or Russia in any way. I feel like he's just kind of getting comfortable pushing lines and doing things he shouldn't do. He's done this in the past, and here Time magazine is glorifying him for Person of the Year. So that tells you what kind of people that they're accepting of. They love communists or whatever, and fascism and all that stuff. That's why he's in office. Another reason I'm not really a big fan of Vladimir Zelensky is because he's been cracking down on his political opponents. He's been punishing them. One of their biggest excuses nowadays is Russia, to do this kind of stuff, to imprison his opponents. Basically, he just uses that excuse, and that'll get them people thrown in jail for believing different from what he believes, and whatever won't promote his power and glory, he will use that against you. So, I mean, I just feel like this is kind of the way the world is going. I feel like there's a lot of like secret combinations going on that aren't really in our best interest, even here in America and there in the Ukraine. Here in America, this is how I feel like it kind of relates to the situation here, is because recently Elon Musk bought Twitter. I wanted to bring this up. The Biden administration been working with Twitter. Democrats work with Twitter to ban people with different beliefs from them, and that's not great for our Second Amendment. I feel like there's a lot going on with the Second Amendment right now. People say that teaching people how to be transgenders is okay and good to do in school settings. But Christians also have rights They're protected by the Constitution, where they don't have to have that stuff forced upon them. They don't have to promote stuff like that. They don't have to promote sins. People can't force them to do that, and I think it's okay for that to work both ways, but sometimes, unfortunately, it doesn't, and you might have people willing to have some common ground beliefs and publicly display them, and have it kind of separate from the people who don't really believe in that kind of stuff, and unfortunately they'll still punish you for that. So for me, seeing this kind of stuff, like how the government is working, how these government agencies, they're supposed to uphold the Constitution. They don't really do that. I notice a lot of places are like starting to legalize crime more and more, and for me, as an ex-convict, it's kind of frustrating to see. I get that grace is good and people need it, and not everybody needs punished all the time. But if you're anything like me, 80 to 90% of what you've done in the past has been nonstop punishment for like the last decade or so. I feel like it would be good to see some repercussions there with the Twitter executives, Facebook, YouTube, whatever. Even the FBI agents involved in colluding with these people. So I guess another thing, I kind of want to touch on this a little bit, is I feel like because Hunter Biden, he gets paid to do whatever. I don't really know. He worked for a Ukraine gas company or something, and I feel like in the Constitution it says like you can't be paid to do political favors. I feel like his son is kind of used as an avenue for that. And that's kind of what this is saying. If you want, you can read through it. But there is that possibility there, and you hear stories like the Chinese oil company that bought up our oil company, that they're selling, and they're selling our reserves to China because they bought up an interest in their company. And I mean, is that really best for our situation if they're just kind of not really doing it for us but doing it for themselves? Plus that's also illegal. Last thing I want to touch on, or one of the last things I want to touch on, is the upcoming NCAA football playoffs. Georgia will be playing Ohio State, and Michigan and TCU will be playing each other in the playoffs. I just want to give you my quick picks right here. I've been really impressed with Georgia, the way they've been playing. Here's how everyone ended up so far this season. I think the rankings, the AP Top 25 rankings, are somewhat accurate. I feel like there is a little bias in there. But I think Georgia is going to beat Ohio State. That's pretty clear. Georgia's going to win it all. Michigan and TCU, that is going to be a good game. It could go either way. But if I had to pick one, and don't quote me on this because I'm not 100% sure on this one, because that's going to be a close game. I might pick Michigan over TCU, and there's a pretty good chance TCU is going to win that one. So take that for whatever it's worth. Georgia is most likely going to win it all. So there's one for all you Georgia fans. Last thing I want to touch on a little bit is I want to leave on a high note, because I am a religious person. I'd like to throw in a little bit some of what I believe. Here's a great talk I want to show you. It's "Be Not Afraid, Only Believe" by Dieter F. Uchtdorf. He's among the 12 apostles of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I think that in the world that we live in, it can be kind of scary sometimes. So it's important to put your faith in Jesus Christ in becoming better, because that's the thing that's going to matter the most in the end. You can be killed, you can be robbed and have everything taken from you. You can live in corrupt societies, which is pretty clear that that's what's happening today. So it's important that once we put our treasures in heaven, where our focus is, that's where our desires will be. And anything can happen to us at that point, and it won't affect us too much. And the reason why this is important, I feel like, is because nowadays there's like a lot of people who do crazy stuff and they praise God. And I wanted to bring this up because that's not really necessarily right. I think it's good to praise God, but there's you can't just go shoot somebody and then glorify God afterwards. Be like, thank God I didn't get caught. Or sell drugs, get a bunch of people high and overdose them, and be like, thank God I continue to make a living doing this. I feel like that's not right to do, but people do it anyway sometimes. And it's kind of sad to see. I used to think it was a joke when DJ Academics said Chicago was a lot like that. You see on their Instagram feeds it's a lot of the stuff that they were talking about. But the reason why it's good to try your best, especially as a Christian, and try not to sin, is because in Corinthians it talks about how we'll be resurrected to bodies of different glories, and I think we'll be rewarded accordingly. Like the body with the glory of the sun, or a body comparable to the glory of the stars, or a body comparable to the glory of the moon. So there's that for you. I hope you take that for whatever it's worth, and you enjoy these videos. Comment, like, subscribe in case you haven't already, and I'll catch you on the next one.